Hey folks, and welcome to today's vlog. I had promised you yesterday that I was going to do a little bit about what I deliver when I deliver a brand identity or a logo design to a client, but kind of got caught up with the office stuff again. But we're here today, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. So when a client goes to a designer for a logo design, there are different service levels that you can get from different designers, and generally, the more you pay, the more you will get from the designer, whether that be sort of in terms of deliverables or even just in value. In the experience of the designer and how many years of design experience they have in creating logos. So you may well expect that as a junior designer or a very young designer who hasn't got much experience, they may charge less to create the logo, and the more experienced the designer, you should expect to pay a bit more. Um, for me, when I have created a logo for a client, there are certain things which I will always deliver in terms of the logo package. And the first being obviously the most important thing, which is the logo. When the logo is complete and signed off and agreed by the client, what I will give them is a logo package. So I will create a folder, and in that folder, I will give the client their logo in various file formats. So I will give them the logo in vector format, which would be an Adobe Illustrator file, an EPS file, and normally a PDF file as well. So that would be the vector versions I would give. And I will also supply the logo in bitmap formats. So that would be JPEG, TIFF file, and various PNG files. PNG 8 for small web files, and also a 24-bit PNG, which could have a transparent background so that the client can lay the PNG over other web graphics. Now, from the vector file, the AI or the EPS, you can export to all of these bitmap images anyway, but not all clients have the software capabilities to do that. Most clients will be able to open and view the JPEGs, the PDF as well, but they may not have the software, Adobe Illustrator or CorelDRAW, things like that can handle the opening of the vector files. So that's the basic thing that you give to the client. What I also give to the client is I will give them a set of brand guidelines, or logo guidelines in this instance. There's sort of a differentiation between logo guidelines and brand guidelines. Brand guidelines are a lot more complex, and I will talk about those in another vlog, or potentially one of my main YouTube channel videos. But what I'll provide as a basic part of the basic service is a set of logo guidelines. And what the logo guidelines do is they will give an outline of how the logo should be used. So it will specify minimum sizes that the logo should be printed or viewed on screen. It will specify the fonts used, the colors. The colors will be specified Pantone, CMYK, RGB, and also hex code, which is uses a hashtag, and then it's a alphanumeric, 6-digit alphanumeric code number, which equates to web color. So colors for on screen and on websites. What was I saying? Yeah, colors and fonts. And it will also say what you can't do, so don't mess around with stretching the logo, don't squish the logo down. There's also some information on there about if you're putting your logo into an advert. So really it's a set of guidelines that if the client is getting some future artwork done using their logo, and it's not going to be done by the original logo designer, what the client can do is they can send their logo files to the other designer along with this PDF document which says this is how you can use my logo. There must be this much space around my logo. It can't be any smaller than this, and it just makes sure that the logo has consistency through wherever it's used, whether that be online or in print. Generally, a lot of clients will use the same designer that's created the logo for a lot of the work, but there are instances where that isn't the case. So I personally think that a set of logo guidelines should be a basic that you give to your client when you deliver a final logo design. There are other things which I can supply to the client. Generally, I will create a set of stationery, so a letterhead and a business card using the logo or parts of the logo. I won't provide printing of those. I used to, but generally a lot of clients these days don't want stationery printed. Not many clients use stationery. Not many clients want letterheads or compliment slips. They will more often than not now want a digital version of their letterhead, so saved as a Microsoft Word template so that they can write their letters, save as PDF and email off. So the amount of work that goes into creating a letterhead for print or for a digital template is pretty much the same. It's all about the amount of time you spend in the design, so it makes no difference what you're doing there. So I'll create artwork for that. I will also create these are kind of additional things, so the client can choose to pay for these or not, but branded graphics for social media, so things like Twitter, Facebook, cover images and profile images. I can do vehicle mock-ups, shop signage, all with the logo showing a consistency, and this is how it can look, and this is how everything works together as a whole. And what I also now offer, and this is a recent thing, is that I now offer a half-day workshop on effective ways that the client can market their new brand identity. It's all well and good having it designed, but you need to get it out there, you need to get it in front of your audience, you need to get it in front of your customers, and there are really good ways to do that when you have a new identity and you're starting from scratch, or even if you're switching over from a previous one. There are ways and methods of introducing the new logo so it's not a shock and it doesn't confuse the audience, because they may not be sure if it's still the same company, because it may well have changed its name as well as the graphical image, and if that's the case, then you need to be careful when you're doing that. So it's not just a case of delivering a JPEG image of the logo to the client and that's the job finished. There are a lot of things that can go into the deliverables for your client. So it comes down to budget really, and the more budget the client has, the more that you can do for them, the more that they are ready to rock their new logo and brand from the get-go. If the budget isn't so high, then what you can do is you create the logo, you create the brand guidelines or the logo guidelines, and the other elements can be introduced at a later point. But I like to work with my clients and work out a budget sort of nearer the start, because I'm a firm believer that you should try and do everything when you're creating a new brand or you're rebranding, that you do everything that you can at the beginning, so that when you launch, everything is launched with the new brand identity. If you redo your logo or create a new logo and you start introducing little bits here and there, it doesn't have as much impact. So I'll try and work with the client and figure out ways. If they've not got the right budget, then I may suggest that they wait 6 months to add to that budget so that we can do it all at once, or we figure out a way where we can maybe break up the cost but still work on the project, but over a longer period of time, so that at the end all of the same amount of work's done, but the client's not having to pay up quickly. It's just stretch it out over a longer period. So that's pretty much it. I can't believe that's nearly 10 minutes. I hope I've not rambled on too much. But for me, I'm a big believer that you should do as much as you can for the client, explore all the avenues, look at all the different directions that a logo design could go for them, so that they don't have to second guess what you're providing and supplying them with, so that they're not having to think, oh, I wonder what it would have looked like this or like that. They're hiring you because you're a professional, so you need to make sure that you've covered all the angles, so that they don't have to worry, and that what you're giving them is the exact and perfect logo design, as well as all the supporting materials that they will need to get a solid launch of that at the start. So that's that. Thanks for watching. I'm really appreciating all the comments that are coming in, and I've had a few emails as well asking some specific questions about projects. It's great to get those. So yeah, if you've got any questions, leave them. If you're watching this on Facebook, leave it in the comments section on Facebook. If you're watching it on YouTube, then make sure you subscribe to the channel and get your comments in and give it a like. And please, if you think anyone will find the vlog useful or my other YouTube videos, please share the link to the page. And I'm actually in Edinburgh tomorrow. I have a Christmas party to go to, so I will probably record a very quick vlog, and I'm going to have to upload it via my phone, which I've not done yet. So hopefully there will be decent Wi-Fi to get that done. If it's not uploaded, then I apologise now, which will just mean that 2 will get uploaded on Sunday, Saturdays, and then Sunday's vlog. So until I see you either tomorrow or Sunday, stay creative and have a great weekend, folks.